right now on 15 News Now.
I'm tracking some warmer weather this week.
Get those scallop nets ready because scallop season is underway. Investigators are searching for clues in the cause of a major weekend plane crash. Plus, sea turtles are turning up on local beaches. 15 News Now starts now.
Coverage you can count on. 15 News Now starts now.
Scallop season is underway here in the Big Bend and continues to get bigger and bigger. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Fred Dawkins. Our top news story on 15 News Now. It's important to remember safety habits when you go out to scallop. Lieutenant Patrol Supervisor Scott Lee tells 15 News Now that there are safety measures you must take.
Once the diver goes in the water, the vessel is required to display a dive flag 20 by 24 inches at the highest point above the vessel where it can be seen as boats approach from all sides. If a diver's in the water and doesn't use a vessel and wades off from shore, it must be 12 by 12 on a buoy or float attached to the diver at all times.
There are also some limits this year. Lee tells 15 News Now what the limits are this year.
It's 2 gallons per person, and the shell, or 1 pint cleaned meat per person, and it's a maximum of 10 gallons per boat, or a half gallon cleaned per boat.
Scallop season runs through September 24th. Tallahassee police are searching for a missing teenager. 15-year-old Christopher Shaw was last seen in the area of Byington Circle on July 1st around midnight. Police say that he's 5 foot 9 inches tall with brown hair and brown eyes. He has a clown tattoo on his right bicep and a cross on his right forearm. Now, if you have any information, please contact the Tallahassee Police Department at 891-4200. Cuba's president is standing behind the man wanted for leaking information about America's surveillance programs. Raul Castro is offering support for Venezuela and other Latin American governments willing to give Edward Snowden asylum. Snowden has been stuck at Moscow's airport for nearly 2 weeks. Venezuela's president has already offered him asylum. The presidents of Nicaragua and Bolivia have suggested they're also willing to do that. U.S. leaders warn any country giving sanctuary to Snowden could face economic and trade sanctions. The wife of George Zimmerman's best friend has taken the witness stand at his second-degree murder trial. Sandra Osterman was called by Zimmerman's defense attorneys Monday to identify his voice on a 911 call. She is the third witness since the defense began its case last Friday to testify that Zimmerman is screaming for help on the 911 call. The 911 call captured the confrontation between Zimmerman and 17-year-old Trayvon Martin shortly before Zimmerman fatally shot him. Zimmerman is pleading not guilty, claiming he acted in self-defense. Zimmerman's family and friends claim it's Zimmerman screaming, while Martin's parents say the voice is that of their son.
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Cloudy skies throughout the evening this evening. About 87 degrees at 7 p.m. down to about 81 by 9. But look at that, down to the 70s by midnight. How long will these temperatures last on the warm side, and will we see any showers and thunderstorms for your Tuesday? I'll let you know coming up later in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
And when we come back on 15 News Now, investigators are searching for clues in the cause of a major plane crash this weekend. That story coming up only on 15 News Now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
You're watching 15 News Now with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 15 News Now continues.
Investigators are deep into the search for clues into the crash of a Boeing 777 at San Francisco's airport this weekend. 2 people were killed and more than 160 injured. 49 of those remain in serious condition. Now we are learning more about the pilot as well as the victims. Efren Graham reports.
Asiana Flight 214 was coming in much too slow for a landing. Investigators say crew members cried out for increased speed, but it was too late. The plane stalled just as the pilots tried to abort the landing.
A call to initiate a go-around occurred 1.5 seconds before impact.
According to new information, the pilot in the deadly crash was in training, having logged only 43 hours of experience flying a Boeing 777. An Asia spokeswoman said the pilot was flying with a very experienced co-pilot and had thousands of hours of experience flying other aircraft. Meanwhile, doctors at San Francisco General Hospital continue to work around the clock to save the injured.
Most critically injured people came right away. Some of them had burns, they had fractures, internal bleeding, head injuries, spinal injuries.
Passengers sitting in the back of the plane were hurt the worst. Among them, 35 middle and high school students from China on their way to learn English at a Christian church and school in Southern California. Both of the victims were from that group.
I knew that there was some connection to the airplane, but I didn't realize that the 2 of the deaths had been from the children that we were hosting. And I have 3 children, and it just struck me as a mom to think about sending my children off on a wonderful, what was to be a pleasurable trip, and to have something like that happen.
The National Transportation Safety Board plans to speak with the pilots in the coming days in an investigation that could take months.
That was Efren Graham reporting. Officials are also investigating reports that one of the teenage victims may have been struck by a rescue vehicle on the runway. Several area roadways will see daytime lane closures this week, so Florida Department of Transportation crews can work. US 19 daytime lane closures from the Dixie County line to US 221 in Perry are expected so crews can repaint the roadway markings. US 98 can see some possible daytime lane closures at the Jefferson County line to remove the old bridge over the Osceola River. The speed limit on the temporary bridge is reduced to 30 miles an hour and strictly enforced. No detours are required for this project. US 98 can also see daytime lane closures after 8:30 a.m. each just west of US 19 in Perry as crews work on a ditch and install an underground drainage system. On US 221, daytime lane closures will run Tuesday through Thursday from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon each day from Ash Street to the Madison County line for ditch cleaning. Also, daytime lane closures from US 19 in Perry to the Madison County line are expected so crews can repaint the roadway markings. And US 221 can see some daytime lane closures from County Road 14 to the Madison County line to resurface. To see a complete list again, visit our website, WSFD15.com. One person died and another was injured in a shooting at the Courtyard Marriott in Panama City. Police say the shooting took place Sunday night. A 44-year-old woman and a 57-year-old man were shot multiple times outside the hotel late on Sunday. The woman died later at a hospital. Police say a suspect fled the scene after the shooting. Authorities say a suspect was quickly identified and that the suspect targeted the victims. The U.S. Marshals Florida Regional Task Force and the Florida Highway Patrol took the suspect into custody early Monday during a traffic stop on Interstate 10 near Tallahassee. Well, police in Jacksonville say one person died and another was injured in separate shootings. The shooting occurred early on Monday at a CVS drugstore in Jacksonville. One person, believed to be a store employee, was shot during a robbery and is being treated at a hospital. Investigators also say a worker at Mojo Barbecue, a few blocks away, was shot to death during an apparent robbery early on Monday. Police say the two robberies could be linked. Workers had the front and rear doors open at the restaurant so they could access their equipment when the robbery occurred. Police have not released the names of the victims. Up next on 15 News Now, sea turtles are turning up on local beaches. We'll be right back.
Health insurance update. This just in for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. Here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans, and yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could receive a choice of affordable plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the Health Insurance Hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-794-0825. That's 800-794-0825. Call now.
People aren't the only ones who find Florida's beaches a necessary part of summer. It's nesting season for sea turtles in the state of Florida, and the endangered animals are laying hundreds of nests every night along the 1,100 miles of Florida coast. Elizabeth Fleming with Defenders of Wildlife tells 15 News Now it's important for Floridians to remember that beaches provide a home to hundreds of species.
We don't think of them as being wild ecosystems, but they are. And they're very important for sea turtles and for many species.
Fleming says it's important to pick up your trash, turn off beach lights, and remove any beach umbrellas or chairs in the evening, especially during turtle nesting season. Nesting for Florida sea turtles is on the increase this year and appears to be following a 23-year trend, or about 13% growth on average. The continued growth of the sea turtle population is great news for a species that was almost wiped out because of a lack of protection and damaged habitat just 30 years ago. A federal database meant to help catch criminals is being used by crooked police officers to commit crimes of their own. Federal cases have revealed abuse around the country in states like Maryland, Tennessee, Georgia, and Connecticut in recent years. But 2 New York City trials reveal a lot of misuse in the New York Police Department. Testimony against 2 accused NYPD policemen suggests officers can easily bypass safeguards by using another officer's login information. The National Crime Information Center database is used nationwide by 90,000 agencies. They access it about 9 million times a day. A Wakulla County Sheriff's Office Road Patrol shift lieutenant and 2 deputies took part in a rescue of 2 juveniles who were kayaking in the Occonocklee River but had capsized due to wind and bad weather last Friday. Police arrived at Walker Bridge and determined that 2 teenagers, a 17-year-old male and a 14-year-old female, both from Tallahassee, were capsized under the bridge and struggling in the rough waters. The teenagers were clinging to the kayak when their father, 44-year-old Brent Zapata, also of Tallahassee, jumped off the bridge in an attempt to assist them. All 3 struggled to swim in the choppy waters. The officers struggled in the waters but were able to bring the 3 to safety. A federal appeals court is hearing BP's bid to challenge what could be billions of dollars in settlement payouts to businesses claiming they lost money after the company's 2010 oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Lawyers for BP and Gulf Coast businesses and residents began arguments on Monday before a 3-judge panel of the 5th U.S. Court of Appeals. BP wants the panel to overturn a federal judge's ruling that upheld a court-appointed claims administrator's interpretation of the settlement.
I'm Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Dustin Cobb. How high will those temperatures go? I'll let you know when we come back after the break. We'll be right back.
Mom! Mom? Oh.
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back. Cloudy skies out there right now and a temperature of about 89 degrees, and it feels like 94 out there with current dew point 70, 52% humidity, and a west-southwest wind at 3 miles per hour. Throughout the area, we're going to definitely continue to see these warmer temperatures and isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures definitely on the hot side, and it looks like very humid conditions as well. Here's what a forecast looks like on your Tuesday. Isolated thunderstorms from northern portions of the state. We're also going to see that shift upwards just a little bit into the Georgia and Alabama areas. We will be seeing temperatures on the warm side as well. Let's take a look at our forecast. If you're heading out and about this evening, cloudy skies, temperature of 87 degrees at 7 p.m. By 9 p.m., 81. By midnight, partly cloudy and 76. Then for tonight, we're going to see a low around 71 degrees, isolated thunderstorm, south wind 5 to 10. For tomorrow, another warm day throughout the Big Bend and more isolated thunderstorms, 93 degrees with a southeast wind switching over to a southwest wind about 5 to 10. Looking ahead the next several days, once again, more showers and thunderstorms off and on, temperature around that 90-degree mark. And then we're going to cool off just a bit for your temperature on Sunday and Monday of next week. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s. Don't forget to get the latest weather information at our website, WSFD15.com.
Coming up on Your Life today, they may know that they're loved, but do they know the truth? When to tell your child you're adopted.
If you've got an issue with a company, you can always take them to court unless you signed an arbitration clause. I'm Stacy Johnson. How so many companies are giving you the rights runaround. That's just ahead on Money Talks News.
I can't travel. I can't sit for very long. I can't stand for very long. I can't sleep. It's difficult to find any joy. It's unbelievable how just a few months of taking Nopalea, how it's changed my life, how much better I feel. You just get a total appreciation, new appreciation for life that I haven't had in so long.
With over 8 million bottles of Nopalea sold, we know it will work for you. Pick up the phone and call now. Learn how to get your 32-ounce bottle of Nopalea free. You'll also receive the Secret Killer Special Report that talks about the dangers associated with inflammation and an audio CD that explains the science behind the Nopal Superfruit.
I just know it worked, and it helped me, and it'll help you too.
Get on the road to wellness now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
Welcome back, everyone. In today's Your Family, when and how do you tell a child that he or she is adopted? Dr. Bill Meyer joins us to give us some pertinent advice.
I've always known since I was a little kid. A friend asked, you look different from your parents. And I was like, I'm adopted.
Drew can't remember a time when he didn't know he was adopted. From day one, his parents have never kept it a secret because they considered it one of the highlights of their lives.
Adopting Drew was truly as totally fulfilling as having my own child.
he totally filled our home where there was an emptiness there.
Make sure that when they're raised that this is something that they know from the very beginning that I was adopted.
If parents communicate early, there'll never be an awkward moment of disclosure. Using resources like picture books about adoption helps your child understand how special he is and the value of his own story.
People would ask us questions about his adoption or about his birth family. We never moved him out of the room. We just talked openly because that is part of who he is. And we were very comfortable with it. We didn't care who knew that. We were so thrilled to have him.
I mean, he's our son, and there's no distinction or difference there. It never even occurs to us anymore.
Some families celebrate the anniversary of the adoption every year. But whether or not you have 2 birthday parties, celebrating your child's ethnic roots is always a good idea.
My dad's really supportive of me learning about my heritage. He's really into history.
We have a Mexican dinner in honor of Drew every year, and try to make it a special day for Drew, letting him know that this is his heritage.
For Focus on the Family, I'm Dr. Bill Meyer.
As important as it is to talk about your child's adoption, Dr. Meyer warns parents that once children clearly understand it, don't keep talking about it. The goal is to diffuse a potential problem by being open and honest, and then to move on. For more information on life's issues, relationships, and family, visit our website and click on the Focus on the Family link at WSFD15.com. When you agree to a cell phone contract, sign up for a credit card, or get a contact for cable service at home, you may be signing away your consumer rights. Expert Stacy Johnson explains in today's edition of Your Money.
The court system is a third branch of government, and you eliminate that, you eliminate part of democracy.
Attorney Robert Murphy is passionate about consumer rights, including your right to go to court, something we often surrender when signing contracts for things like cell phones, bank accounts, and credit cards. We're talking about arbitration. You sign a clause, next thing you know, your right to go to court is gone. Now you're going to go to an arbitration, just you and the company. A lot of people, including me, don't like these things. Here's why. First, arbitration limits lawsuits, and lawsuits, especially class actions, are often the consumer's best option. Second, there's no appeal. Finally, fairness. Some say arbitration panels aren't.
What it does is suppress any bad claims against them, and keeps them in secret. And they're not held accountable.
According to a study by Public Citizen, companies win arbitration cases as much as 95% of the time. So what can you do about this? Not much.
If they are forced to sign it anyways, continue to object about it, but focus the objections on your elected officials at the state and federal level.
Bottom line, arbitration is simply a way for big companies to keep you out of court. You're going to see more and more of this stuff, and you need to know more about it. I've got information waiting for you right here at MoneyTalksNews.com. Just do a search for arbitration. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
As Stacy said, he's got a lot of information and links at his website. To get to his website, go to our website, WSFD15.com. Click on the Money Talks link under the Lifestyles menu.
Mom! Mom?
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family. So I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling. That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide. So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
This is Sports Zone.
Lance Lynn outpitched Marlins All-Star Jose Fernandez for the 11th win, and Matt Holliday homered for the St. Louis Cardinals in a 3-2 victory that wrapped up a 3-game sweep on Sunday. Lynn worked 7 strong innings in 87-degree heat and matched All-Star Adam Wainwright for the team lead in wins, bouncing back from losses in consecutive starts for the first time in his career. He struck out 7, fanning Stanton all 3 times, and he reached 11 wins prior to the break, both his years in the rotation. David Price went the distance to win his 2nd straight start since returning from an injury as the Tampa Bay Rays completed a 3-game sweep by beating out the Chicago White Sox 3-1 on Sunday. Price worked around 8 hits, walking none and striking out 5. The 2012 American League Cy Young Award winner spent 47 days on the DL with a strained left tricep, then came back and struck out 10 in 7 shutout innings against Houston. And the Houston Rockets and Boston Celtics tipped off Orlando Summer League play, concerned about how major additions will fit into their success next year. Prize free agent Dwight Howard is heading to Houston, and the Celtics have hired former Butler coach Brad Stevens to replace Doc Rivers. Rockets coach Kevin McCall also said on Monday morning that Howard should be a seamless fit. McCall says Howard can run the floor, block shots, finish, and that's all the stuff we want in our system. And that's today in sports, guys. It's back to you at the news desk. I'm Aaron Cox.
Well, I don't know about you folks, but I'm glad scallop season is here, and I can't wait to get me 2 or 3 of those bucketfuls of scallops. It's going to be so good. Love to grill them. Thanks for joining us here on 15 News Now. Dustin and I will be back tomorrow. Until then, have a blessed evening and blessed day, everybody. God bless.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.